Right, this is for the Maths Reset course. This lesson was a bit different because we went through an old paper. This paper was November 18, paper 1, so it's a non-calculator paper. Right, so we need to know what sort of topics these are. This is working with negative numbers. We'll try and get through this as fast as we can because this is a 1.5 hour paper. So just think of that as an and. So we've got -3 and -8 make -11. The longest bar in a chart, well, here's a chart, right? We've got this, this, and this, and the longest bar is that one. And if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, it's the one where things happen the most. And where things happen the most will be the mode. So mean, median, mode, and range is the topic to do for that one. This is just simple additions and subtractions with decimals. So you want to look up something to do with decimals. Add and subtract. So we've got 1.1 minus 0.15. Put a 0 in there just to make it tidy. 0, 10, so that's 5. 0, 10, that's 9. So it's 0.95. Okay, right. On a circle, which is always the longer than the diameter? Well, on a circle, the diameter is across, and the only way that you can get a longer line than the diameter always is this one around the outside, which is the circumference. So look up the names of these and what they refer to on a circle. 83 times 26 is just straightforward multiplication. 3 sixes are 18, 6 eights are 48, 49, 2 threes are 6, and 2 eights are 16. So add them together, 8, 5, 1, 1, 2. The cost of 3 calendars is £18. Work out the cost of 5. So this is direct proportion. So first of all, we need to find out what one calendar is. So 18 divided by 3 equals £6. Now you're going to buy 5. So 5 times 6 is 30. Helicopter blade does 3206 in 7 minutes. How many does it do in 1 minute? So we're just going to simply divide 3206 by 7. And 7s into 3 don't go. 7s into 32 are 4 with 4 left over. 7s into 40 go 5 with 5 left over, and 7s into 56 go 8, so it's 4, 5, 8. Now this is to do with trees. What sort of trees are these? Factor trees? Don't know. It might be probability trees, but it's an easy probability trees, but it's an easier one because we're not asked to do any probabilities, so we just have to fill in the missing gaps, I think. So 68 play. Let's have a look. There are 3 times as many customers in 2 as 1. So here's 2. Here's 1. Sorry, here's 2. So you need 87 times 3. So you need 3 times as many. 24, 261. So that's 261 in there. So now if you add these two numbers together, you can find out what that is. Yeah, 261 and 87. Add together 8, 4, 3, 3, 4, 8. Now, to find out the full price, we know how many of these 87 are paying the child. So it's 87 minus 15. So that's 27. So that's 72 goes up there. And 68 customers paid the child price. Well, we know about 15, so how many in there? So we got 68 in total. Take away 15 is 3, 5. So there's 53 in there. Now we've got to find the full price. So take 53 away from all of those on screen too. 26153, 51, so that's 8, 0, 2, 208. Oh, this is a horrible one, yeah. So a half is there, and 1 1/4 is there. So I'm going to make that 5/4, yeah. So what we've got to do is find out what that is there, exactly halfway between that. So these are quarters, so these are eighths because they're a bit smaller, they're halfway between. So if we make these all into eighths, that will be multiplied by 4, so that is 4/8, and that one is double it, so that's 10/8. So halfway between 4 and 10, we go 4 plus 10, divide by 2, 14, divide by 2 equals 7. So therefore this is 7/8. Number line, that one. X is a positive integer. 3 divided by x is a positive integer. So we've got to find all the numbers that go into 35, so it's factors. And it's got to come out as a whole number. So all the factors of 35 are 1 times 35, 5 times 7. That's it. 1, 5, 7, 35. Yeah. So if you divide 35 by 1, you get 35. Divide it by 5, you get 7. Divided by 7, you get 5. Divided by 35, you get 1. Whole numbers, integers. Now, fair dice. So let's draw a fair dice over here. This is a fair dice. Now, when it's on the table, you can see 5 sides. Right? 5 of the numbers can be seen. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, sort of thing. Write down the probability that one of these numbers is 2. So you've got 5 chances that you can see a 2 out of 6. And work out the greatest possible sum of the 5 numbers. Well, the greatest possible thing is if the 1 was underneath, then you'd see 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and all that lot add up to 20. So we're on 11. Right, so this one's just fractions. Now, because the denominators are the same, the numbers at the bottom, we simply add the 2 at the top. So that becomes 8/7. Now, there isn't an 8/7 in the answer because this is top heavy. So we need to convert to a mixed. And that becomes 1 and 1/7. This one's BIDMAS. So what do? We do the multiply first, and then the add, then the subtract. So 3 5s are 15, so we've got 15 in the middle. Then the add these two together, so we get 19. Take away 1 equals 18, so that's the answer to that one. Sequences, that's what we look for, sequences. Now the third term here's a sequence, 1, 3, 8, 11, 12, something. So this is the number, and the sequence is this: first number, second number, third number, fourth number, 5 number. So we're looking for the third number in the sequence. So we've got 5n minus 2. So all we do is replace the n with the number 3. So we get 5 times 3 minus 2, which is 15 minus 2, which equals 13. And luckily enough, it's there. This is angles in triangles and quadrilaterals, squarey shaped, four-sided shapes. So we've got to find the angle of AED, which is this one over here. Now there's an isosceles triangle, this one, AED, and here we've got a sort of parallelogram. So opposite sides of a parallelogram, opposite corners are the same. So that's 110. Now these two angles together, because they're on a straight line, make 180. So this is 180 minus 110, which is 70. So it means this angle in here is 70 degrees. Isosceles triangle means this one's also 70 degrees, and all three angles in a triangle add up to 180. So we get 180 minus these two, which is 140, which equals 40 degrees. Right, this one is ratio. And what we're going to do is put the A's together. So I'm going to write this round the other way. So I'm going to write B to A is 6 to 1. And then I'm going to write A to C is 3 to 1. Now, we can't make a relationship between B and C until we have A exactly the same. So I'm going to treble this side so that A is 3 and B is 18. So then we've got the 3 and the 1. Now, because A's are the same, we could write B, A, C as 18, 3, and 1. And we can see that B is 18 times bigger than C. Now, Laura wants to work out 3% of 1700. Her method is, so this is convert percentage to decimal. And what she's done, 3% should be 0.03. So it's a bit of a funny one there. The method is right, but what they mean is she doing the right thing? No, she's not doing the right thing, because 3% is 0.03. Right, now Laura wants to work out 30/29 of 60. Her answer is 58. Is she correct? Well, no, she's not correct, because 30/29 is top heavy and means it's bigger than 1. And if you're multiplying some 60 by something bigger than 1, it should be more than 60. Yeah, should be more than 60, as 30/29 is bigger than 1. Right, now we've got some shapes. So this is properties of shapes. So a parallelogram, so this is everything. Q is a set of quadrilaterals. R is a set of shapes that have rotational symmetry. So there's something else to learn. Rotational symmetry is when you have a shape and you spin it round. There's 90. Spin it round again. And see, when we get to the bottom, then we'll spin it round again. When we get to the bottom, this looks exactly the same as that. So that shape has rotational symmetry. So a parallelogram does not have rotational symmetry, because when it's upside down, it's the same, it's back to front, as it were. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral, but it doesn't have rotational symmetry. A pentagon has rotational symmetry, so they could put an R by that. A rhombus, let's have a look. Get this back. If I turn that upside down, best way to do this is to get a rhombus, draw it on a piece of paper, and it slopes to the right. So that does have rotational symmetry. So that does have rotational symmetry. And it's quadrilateral, I think, yeah? Oh, no, not that one. That's a quadrilateral and rotational. Scaling triangles have nothing. A trapezium is a quadrilateral, but doesn't have rotational. So where do all these go? The E is the trapezium. That's a quadrilateral. That goes in there. The D is a scalene triangle which doesn't go anywhere. The B is a rotational but not quadrilateral, and so A and C are going in both, so they have to go in the middle. Now this is substitution in algebra, where we're substituting the numbers in for the letters. So A over B becomes 7 over 2 and minus, and A to the power of B is 7 squared. Now 7 over 2 is 3.5. 7 squared is 49. So we're going to have a minus number. Right, minus. Just do the numbers the other way around. 49 take away 3.5 is 43. 45. 6. Take away 6 is 4. Take away 3 is 46. Take away another half is 45 and a half. So it's a minus number. Algebra, solve for x. Okay, 3x minus 8. So we've got 3x minus 8 equals 19. We've got to get rid of everything and leave x all on its own. So to get rid of the minus 8, we'll add 8. And you must do this to both sides. If you add 8 to the left, it disappears. Add 8 to this, you get 27. Now we've got 3 times x, so we do the opposite and divide by 3, which leaves x on that. And this is 27 divided by 3, which is 9. Right, here are 5 cards. 2 of the 5 cards are picked at random. Work out the probability. So this is a probability topic that the 2 numbers is more than 30. So we've got to add them all one at a time to see how many pairs come up to be more than 30. So 17 and 12 is 29. 17 and 23 is 40. 17 and 15 is 32. 17 and 16 is 33. Now we've got to do 12 plus 23 is 35. 12 plus 15 is 27. 12 plus 16 is 28. Now 23 plus 15 is 38. 23 plus 16 is 39. And 15 plus 16 is 31. So how many combinations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 combinations. And how many come out to be more than 30? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 out of 10. Oh, it's a long question that was. Right, graphs. Complete the table for the value of y equals x squared. Graphs. X squared. Right. So what we're going to do is fill in these. So when y equals x squared, so when x squared is minus 2, we got minus 2 squared, which is minus 2 times minus 2, which is plus 4. Remember negative numbers? Plus 4. Minus 1 squared is 1. 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1. And 2 squared is 4. So there's all our coordinates. And don't go beyond minus 2 and 2. So minus 2 on the x and plus 4 is there. Minus 1 and 1 is there. 0, 0 is there. 1 and 1 is there. And 2 and 4 is there. So we get a sort of curvy shaped, as you always do, but don't go beyond the line. So draw them carefully to, oops, missed that one yet, like that. Use your graph to estimate the square root of 2.6. Right, So what are we going to do here? 2.6. So if we think of the y as being this, so if this is 2.6, so y has got to be equal to 2.6. So the square root of 2.6 will be equal to the square root of y, wouldn't it? Yeah. So this is the x. So we've got x squared. This is x squared because the square root of 2.6 squared is just 2.6. So when y equals 2.6, we can find out what x is, which is the value of that. So 2.6, so come up here to 2.6 there, and go down there, and across there, and go down somewhere there. So these are the numbers we're looking for on the x. So this is going to be more or less, I don't know, minus 1.6 and 1.6. So minus 1.6 and 1.6. Tricky one with graphs. Right, two consecutive whole numbers, n and n plus 1. Okay, simplify n minus n plus 1. So, when you've got a minus with no number outside, think of it as this. N minus 1, n plus 1. So, in order to get rid of the brackets, we've got to do minus 1 times n, which will be minus n, and then minus 1 times plus 1 is minus 1. So now we've got n minus n, which is nothing, so all we're left is minus 1. Multiply out, so we multiply everything inside the brackets. So n times n is n squared, and n times plus 1 is plus n. Don't need. If the two numbers are added, show that the answer must be an odd number. If the two numbers are added, so we've got n plus n plus 1, right? So n plus n plus 1. So the two numbers, the first number is n and the second number is n plus 1. I got that from up there in case you're wondering where that came from. Yeah. Now if I add those together, that equals 2n plus 1. Now 2 times any number is always is always even. Yeah, always even. Now if we add 1, we get an odd number. So we've proved that the answer is always an odd number. Circle the value of cos 30. Cos 30. Now this is the table of common cos, tan and sine. It's trig, common trig values. Now they are, the table is square root of 1 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, and the square root of 3 over 2. And this is sine, and cosine is back the other way, square root of 1 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, and the square root of 3 over 2. So we're interested in cos 30. So this is 30, this is 45, and this is 60. It's a table to memorize. And cos 30 is this one, look, square root of 3 over 2. Right, give your answer as a mixed number. So division. So first of all, there's fractions. So first of all, change them into top heavy. 17 over 2 divided by 8 over 3. Turn this one upside down. and multiply. So 3 17s are 51 and 2 8s are 16. So 16s into 51 go 3 because 3 16s are 48 and we've got 3 16ths left over. Right, these are getting complicated, yeah. So number 26. A ship is sailing in a straight line from its home port. The distance time graph shows 4 hours of the journey, yeah. What's the speed of the ship? So we start here, distance, and that's 40, 4, 8, 52, 56, 48, and we finished there, which is 4 away from that, which is 116. So if we do 116 minus 48, it will tell us the distance. So 0.86. So we're doing 68 miles. So we do 68 68 miles in 4 hours. So divide that by 4. So 4's into 6 go 1 with 2 over, and 4 7s are 28. So it's 17 miles an hour. Oh, what's this? No, this is just reading from tables. Yeah, hopefully some of this will be just common sense. Right, Kim works at an airport. She records a number of planes landing between 12 and 2 each day. The table shows the data for the first 10 days in January. There. The airport was affected by fog on one day. Why do you think it was? So, which day do you think it was? So, if it's fog, it's going to be a lot fewer planes taking off and landing. So that's that one. Yeah. Day 8, reason, a lower number of planes. Right, Kim uses data to predict how many planes will land at the airport in a year. In her method, she uses an estimate of 150 planes in each 4-hour period throughout the day. Assume the same number of planes on each day. Work out her prediction. Shows she's got 150 planes in each 4-hour period. So 24 hours divided by 4 equals 6 periods. So we need to multiply that by 6, and that gives us 900 a day. Now she needs to do it in a whole year, doesn't she? So we're doing 365 days times 900. Right, so 0, 0, 9, 45. 6 nines are 54, it's 8, 5, and 3 nines are 27, 32. So we've got 3, 2, 8, 500 in a year. Right, that's her prediction. Right, so in fact, fewer planes land in the winter than the summer, fewer planes land at the night during the day. What does this tell you about prediction? Well, if there are fewer in the winter, she might be too high. And if there are fewer at night, in the summer, so hang on, listen. So fewer planes land in the winter than the summer, so there could be more in the summer. Because when did she do this survey? That's the key thing, isn't it? So when did she do this survey? So this is, let's go right back. January, yeah? So she did that in January. She had to go all the way back to that to find the answer. So because she did this in January, and if there are more planes in the summer, yeah, she's too low. She's too low. And she did this during the day. So if there are fewer planes at night, she will be too high. So her prediction could be lower or high. So there could be more planes in the summer, or fewer planes at night. So I don't know what the maths topic is for that, but it's just like looking at the information in the table. The sum of the angles in any quadrilateral is 360. There you go, 360. For example, as a rectangle is 4 times 90. Yeah, got that. Zach writes 5 times 90 is 450. So the sum of the angles in a pentagon must be 450. You can't have 5 right angles in a shape. It just doesn't work. So is it correct? No. Do some working to support your answer. So what we need is to find out the sum. So this is the sum of angles in polygons. Polygons are many sided shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out the exterior there. The exterior angle. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them. Yeah. Now all the way around is 360. So if we do 360 divided by 5, we get 72. So each one of these is 72. Now this one, this is the exterior angle. Now the interior angle is going to be, it's on a straight line. So it's 180 minus 72, which equals 108. And that one there is 108. Now if you've got 5 of them, just do 108 times 5, which is 5/8 of 40. 5 nulls are 0, with 4 and 5. So the answer is actually 540 degrees, not 450. Oh, this looks complicated. Right, work out the value of A. Now, right, so let's work out what this is first, yeah? So 6 squared is 36, and 8 squared is 64. We need the square root of that. So that's 100. The square root of 100 is equal to 10. So now we've got 10 equals the cube root of 125a cubed. So the cube root of 125, let's have a look. Now the cube root of a cubed is just a, and the cube root of 125 is 5. So you've got 10 equals 5a, divide by 5, and it equals 2. So a equals 2. Work out the percentage increase from 80 to 280. So this is the difference over the original times percentages. Percentage increase, that's a topic, yeah? Times 100 to change it into a percentage. So the difference between these two is 200. The original is 80 times 100. Yeah. So let's cross some zeros and try and make this a bit simpler. Yeah. 1, 1, 1, 1. So we've got 20 divided by 8. So okay, 8 into 20, go nothing. 2 eighths is 16 with 4 left over, and 5 eighths are 2.5. So we've got 2.5 as a decimal. 80 goes into that 2.5 times. I really want to 80 into, is it 8? I'm right. I know what I'm right. But I've lost my 100 somewhere. So I'm gonna just do that again, because I know it's going to be 250%, but I want to do that again, yeah? I want to do that again. So it's the difference. The difference is 200 over 80 times 100. Okay, so this is 200. I crossed far too many noughts off, didn't I? Crossed far too many noughts off. So that divided by 80. So I'm going to take a naught off both. So I'm going to do 8 into 2000. 8 into 2 go nothing. 8 into 20 go 2 with 4 left over. 8 into 40 go 5. And there's a 0 at the end. So that's it, 250%. And there's more. What's this? Solve for x. Now this is a quadratic equation. It's a quadratic equation because there is a square in it. Now what we have to do now is we have to find two numbers that multiply to make 12 and have a difference of -1. -1 because it's 1, that's 1x, yeah? -1x. So we do it double brackets like this, and we need factors of 12. So modular factors of 12, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Now, all these add up, all these multiply up to make 12, yeah? But only one of them has a difference. 3 and 4 have a difference, yeah? So the answers here, we've got to have a 3 and a 4. The square root of x is x times x. Now where to put the minus signs and where to put the plus signs? In the middle we have minus x. So we've got to have these two numbers, one take away the other to give you a -1. So we're going to have +3 and -1. Now when you find out the value of x, you reverse the sign. So x equals -3 and +4. Right. Okay, I think that was the end of the questions, right? So that's the whole of that paper, yeah? As fast as I can do it, yeah? So, stop for breath now. Okay, thank you.